Hi everyone, I'm Martha from Mindset with Martha. I am a mental fitness coach and a mindset coach, and this week we're going to be chatting all about navigating social situations and events whilst on your fitness journey. So it's important to understand your own values, your goals, your motivations, which is essential for being able to then navigate those social situations and events. It's unavoidable. You're going to have events when you're on your fitness plan. There's going to be social situations where you're going to go out. There might be alcohol involved, different foods. Maybe they're not within your plan. So maybe you need to bank calories throughout the week for going out. Whichever way you've tracked and planned your plan is going to then determine how you navigate those social situations and events then moving forward. So, when you are clear about what matters to you and the opinions of others when it comes to navigating that judgment at social events or in situations, because sometimes you might have a friend or a family member might say, ask you a question about the plan that you're on, or they might say, oh, why aren't you having the food that we're having? And then you feel like you need to overly explain yourself. It's about being very sure of the goal that you've set, the motivation behind it, and the value that you've placed on it. So having that boundary in place when these questions are asked. And then they tend to have less of an impact on you because you're focused on the goal in mind, the motivation behind it, and the value that you've placed on it as well. So reflecting on your reasons for pursuing your health and fitness goals can reinforce your commitment and reduce the weight of the external judgment from others. So let's have a little look at the reflection work, then to have a little look at where you're at currently with navigating social situations and events. So the first one is, how do I usually handle social situations that challenge my fitness or nutrition goals? The second one then is, what emotions come up when I feel pressured to make unhealthy choices in social settings, and how do I respond to them? So, do you automatically feel this sense of negativity? Do you feel like when someone asks you a question to do with your fitness plan, that you feel like they are judging you, that it's an opinion that's coming from a place of negativity? Okay. And previously in one of the videos, I spoke about how we can reframe how we react and feel when somebody is asking us a question about the plan that we're on. And if someone says, well, why aren't you eating the food that we're having? Like, why, what's your reason behind this? Again, sometimes 99.9% of the time, people will ask why you're not having the food that they're having or why you're on this plan. And it's coming from a place of motivation, as in you're instilling and bringing up a motivation within them. So you're also instilling a motivation in them. You're instilling an aha moment where they're like, oh, maybe this is something I'd like to do. I'd love to learn more about that. So when you reframe your thinking, restructure it in a different way, so that cognitive restructuring, you can then view the judgment and opinions of others from a more positive light rather than somewhere from a place of negativity. What strategies can I use to stay aligned with my goals while still enjoying social events with friends and family? So, again, that's with the boundary that you set around your plan. Okay, so did you calorie bank during the week? Did you know that there was an event coming up at the weekend? Did you have a wedding coming up, a birthday, for example? Um, so any event that you had planned into your plan, you would have taken that into consideration. If it's an event that just came up out of the blue, it's something you have to go to, it's always a case where there's going to be events that you weren't prepared for, that weren't within the plan. You didn't know they were going to happen. But it's all about how you reframe your thinking to know not to throw the towel in. So when these events come up, enjoy yourself. It's always about enjoying yourself too and having fun, and then get straight back into your plan the next day. Because if you allow yourself to go into that downward spiral where it's one night out after another, and eventually you say, "Oh, I've missed too many days of my plan now. I'm gonna give it up." That's when you're allowing your mindset, that negative side of your mindset, to win. And we want to keep that self-discipline in place. Okay. So what strategies can I use to stay aligned with the goals while still enjoying social events with family and friends? So have a think about those three, jot them down, write them into your notebook as well, and we'll move on then to restructuring them at the end of the video as well. Practice mindfulness and self-compassion. So two that are so important. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded in the present moment. So in the previous video, we spoke about that stress management and managing anxiety. So it helps you to stay grounded in the present moment and reduces the tendency to overthink about what others might be thinking. Okay. Use the box breathing technique here to help calm the nervous system and the mind. So with box breathing, it's all about imagining a box in front of you. Okay. So close your eyes for a moment and imagine you've got a box in front of you and there's a dot in the top left-hand corner. As you breathe in through your nose for 4, I want you to imagine that dot going from the left-hand side of the top of the box to the right. So we're going to breathe in for 4. And as you breathe out for 4, I want you to imagine that dot going from the top right down to the bottom right. And again, breathe in for 4 and imagine the dot going from the bottom right over to the left. And again, I want you to breathe out for 4 and imagine the dot going from the bottom left up to the top left. And that is box breathing. And we can do it one more time as well. So in through your nose for 4. Always imagining that dot on the box. Out through your mouth for 4. And again, in through your nose for 4. And out through your mouth for 4. And box breathing can be so helpful to be able to relax the body and really instill that mindfulness for you. With self-compassion, it involves treating yourself with the same kindness and understanding that you would offer a friend, okay? Which can limit the harshness of self-judgment and the fear of external judgment. So how would you speak to yourself? How would you treat yourself? Okay? You wouldn't say what you would say to yourself to a friend or a family member. So when you reframe it, you automatically realize that you're being very harsh with yourself. Okay? So how you speak to yourself is so important in those moments as well. Again, with the journaling, it can be so good to be able to instill that gratitude journaling, that reframing your negative self-talk into positive self-talk. So keeping a journal on hand can be great for that. Again, with your reflective journaling throughout the week, the end of month reflective journaling as well. So keeping track of not just your physical fitness, but your mental fitness here too. So how you speak to yourself is so important. Understanding the source of the judgment. So again, when you're at a social event, and someone might ask you a question about the plan that you're on, or might question why you're not having the same meals as them. So understanding why other people might judge you and the goals you want to achieve can provide that insight into their motivations, which are often more about them than about you. So when people ask us a question, they're quite intrigued and they want an answer based on their own gain. Okay, so they want to question, well, how did you get into the plan? How did you start? How's your nutrition? How are you feeling? And it's because you're motivating something within them to get started. So you're instilling that motivation in them. So they're curious about it. And when you reframe your thinking to remember that a lot of the time people's questions are coming from a place of, oh, I wish I could do that too. That'd be great. I'd love to do that. Then you think of it so differently and you approach the situation with more confidence within yourself. And you're really backing the goal that you chose and the value you've placed on it too. So this realization can depersonalize the judgments and reduce their emotional impact. Routine and consistency. So habit formation is the backbone of resilience, okay? So when you have those habits in place, when you know exactly what's going to happen when an event comes up, when a social event is on the horizon, so establishing a consistent routine that integrates fitness activities naturally into daily life can help you to stick to your goals regardless of any external influences. Okay, so you know exactly how you're going to act when a social event comes up. And it's all about that habit, that routine, that consistency. So consistency in small actions builds habits that are harder to break, which create that long-term resilience, so that long-term fitness mindset for you. So let's have a little look at the visualization, that restructuring then for moving forward. So when you future social events and situations coming up, how are you going to be able to navigate those when they crop up for you? So visualize yourself at a social event where you're faced with choices that challenge your fitness goals. Picture yourself confidently navigating the situation, so you're having a conversation with somebody, making choices that align with your goals while still enjoying the event. How does this confidence affect the rest of the evening? So imagine yourself in the moment, imagine that confidence, imagine yourself backing the value that you've placed on the goal, that motivation behind it, that boundary you've set for yourself, and remind yourself how you're going to be able to navigate the situation then moving forward. The second one then is imagine a social situation where in the past you may have compromised your fitness goals. Okay? Visualize yourself this time feeling in full control, balanced, and making decisions you feel good about. What is the overall mood of the event now that you feel aligned with your goal? So, in the past, if you were ever at a social event or you're in a situation where someone might have been like, oh, go on, it's only one, or go on, it's only one meal off your plan, go on, it's grand, okay? Right? And you will have people around you who'll be like, oh, like, come on, like join in, okay? How do you feel when you've switched that control to be able to say, no, I'm good. Like I've got my plan in place, and you've got that value at the back of it, that motivation behind it. So this is really restructuring a past situation so that you can visualize it differently then for moving forward. So have a think about both of those. Write them down, write down everything that comes to mind, close your eyes and really visualize it as well, so that when another social situation or event comes up for you, you then know exactly how you're going to react in that situation. And that is the end of this week's video, everyone. I will see you in the next one.